Alright, the last one in this section is find the equation of a circle with a diameter whose endpoints are given. So we can draw a sketch of that, but to find the equation we need two things. What? Center and a radius. Do we have either of those yet? No. Good. Well, considering that, I want you to pause it for a minute and think about how we could find center and how we could find radius when we're given 2 points. Let's just look at this first. So if I have a circle, let's just say this is a rough sketch of where these ordered pairs may be. We need a center and a radius. So how could I find center? What would help me find the center right there? Midpoint formula. Good. So we're going to use our midpoint formula to find center. Write it down. Go ahead and plug that value in and calculate your midpoint. So I write my midpoint formula here. I plug in my x1 plus x2 divided by 2. I get 2. Plug in my y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And I find out that my center is 2, 1. Well, I know center, so I want to keep in mind that I need two things to be able to find the equation of a circle, center and a radius. And we found our center, so we have that information. The next thing we need to do is find our radius. Now, what exactly is the radius? It's the distance from the center to one of the points. So it could be that, or I could have a radius here. What is it all the way across? Diameter. Now, I have a couple options here. I could find the radius from here to here using this point and this point, but what would be my only downfall to that? If I made a mistake on this, then that's automatically going to make me have a mistake on the second part. So what's the most precise way to do this is to use the diameter from here all the way to there, because these 2 points were given to me. There's absolutely no chance of a mistake there. And then I take that answer and only use half of it. So let's use that approach. Let me say that one more time. We're going to calculate the diameter all the way across because I want to use the given point and the given point so there's no chance of mistake. And then I only need the radius. So whatever my answer is, I'm only going to use half of it because then that would represent a radius. So pause it, write your formula for distance from here to here, the distance, and then let's work that out. Alright, I just wrote a few notes. We're going to remind ourselves that the radius, what we're looking for, is only going to be half of the diameter. But we're finding the distance from this given point all the way to this given point so that we're using exact given values and there's no chance of mistake by our initial calculation. So plug these values in. Let's find the distance all the way across, and then we're only going to use half of that. Okay, so plugging my values in, I have this, simplifies to this, simplifies to the square root of 676. I put this in the calculator, and the distance from here to here is 26. So what is my radius? We said half of that. Yeah, so the radius is going to be half of the diameter, which is half of 26. So we find out that the radius is 13. Now, we've not answered our question, but we finally have the information we need to answer our question. We want to plug that back into our equation of a circle. Okay, so now we want to plug that information in, our center and radius into that, and we get x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared. 13 squared is 169. So this is our final answer. That's a lot of work to get that. But we have all the tools we need. It basically pulls together all the different things we talked about today. The midpoint, the radius, and our standard form of equation of a circle.